Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we are going to be testing out a new piece of equipment that was sent to me by Hygger. This is a wavemaker. I'm going to be using it on my reef tank to address a problem I'm having. So that problem is, of course, flow. I've got two wavemakers currently providing flow for the top of the tank, mainly the SPS corals, but nothing down low for the bottom of the tank. So I'm hoping I can use this to help kick up detritus that settles on the sand bed, and also to keep stuff like cyano from growing on the sand. Let's unbox it, get it installed, and see what kind of difference it makes. I'm gonna do a pretty quick unboxing here. Pretty standard packaging, normal stuff. Inside, we have a controller, what's this? The wavemaker itself. I guess this is maybe like an anemone guard, perhaps. And yeah, that's pretty much it. All right, here it is installed in the tank. I had a slight change of plans, so I decided it would be better to mount it up high and point kind of down towards the sand bed to help clear off detritus and cyano. I've got the controller mounted on the side of my cabinet. So it has 5 different modes. The first is constant, so just blowing same rate. Second is classic wave, which looks like a square wave. Third is, the fourth mode is a sine wave, and the fifth is a random wave, which is what I'm going to be using. And we can take a look. So now it is really blowing. Probably a bit too much flow for that hammer. So I'm gonna turn it back down. So I actually love that this comes with a physical knob. I think more equipment manufacturers should go back to tactile physical knobs. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, but I really miss these things. So it's been about 8 days since I've installed the wavemaker. Right after I install it, I did do a water change. I did vacuum off all of the cyano, but I have not done anything to the sand bed since. And what I can say is that it has made a really big difference. I notice a lot less cyano than before. Before, I would get this kind of growth in like maybe a day, and it's been over a week and I've got this, which isn't bad. I'm pretty happy with, weekly maintenance. Once a week, I go through and give it a vacuum, and it will stay white for, a few days. The areas I notice that are worse are areas that are further from the flow, like here, behind this rock, way back in the back of the tank. There's not much flow and there's some green cyano there. So I think it is working, but maybe sounds crazy, but still need some more flow around those areas. If you guys have other ideas on how to deal with cyano, I'd love to hear it. Drop a comment below and let me know. Now I'll give you guys my final thoughts on the Hygger HG112 wavemaker. I'll start off with functionality because I think that's the most important part. It works great. It seems to have plenty of power. I have it turned down to like 50%, which provides enough flow for my 65-gallon reef tank. In terms of usability, I'd say that the controller is pretty easy to set up and use. It doesn't have an app that I can tell, which I actually prefer. Personally, I think that having like knobs and buttons I can turn is better than having to go into my phone, log into an app, yada, yada, yada. So that's great. It's got a ton of features. I'm mainly interested in just the random mode, but it also has a bunch of different modes like sine wave. You can control it over different time periods, which I haven't tried. So it's got a ton of features that I didn't even use or test. So I think that's great. Price-wise, it's a really good deal. These are like, I think $60 to $80 on Amazon. And if you compare that to something like a Vortec pump, which is probably I think around $300 for something about the same flow rate. It's a really good deal. So great bang for your buck as usual with Hygger. A pretty solid product. I don't have a lot of bad things to say about it. The one thing I kind of would prefer is if it didn't have a cord on the inside of the tank, like the Vortec MP40s. That just makes it easier to get it into different places in your tank without having to be tethered by a cord. And I think it looks a little bit cleaner. But it's kind of understandable that that's a newer technology. I think originally only Ecotech could do that because of a patent, but maybe we'll see that trickle down into other products. Anyways, I think overall it's a great pump. I'd highly recommend it if you're looking for something for your tank. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks a lot for watching. I appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in the next video.